Welcome to Remarkable Old Photos. A gas station in Chicago, 1941, during a time when the city was a major hub for wartime industry and migration. Many stations like this began offering self-service options that year. Southwest Airlines flight attendants in 1972 wore bold red uniforms as part of the airline's early LUV branding, with heart-themed liveries. The airline was one of the first to offer in-flight beverages in recyclable aluminum cans, reducing waste years before industry standards. A car accident at 12th and K Streets in Washington, D.C., 1921, outside the Franklin Market, which advertised cigars and school supplies. The store was located in a segregated neighborhood where black-owned businesses thrived despite Jim Crow restrictions. February 1940 inches, Chillicothe, Ohio, people board a bus during a snowstorm. Pascal's 11662 Paris carriage routes, though innovative, failed within a decade due to high fares and noble exclusivity. An electric street sweeper with a water sprinkler operates in Paris around 1922. This early 20th century innovation reduced dust pollution in city streets by 60% compared to dry sweeping methods. A street vendor sells goods from a makeshift kiosk in Havana, Cuba around 1904. These informal stands were early precursors to modern convenience stores. A woman in full biker gear rides her motorcycle in the 1920s, a rare sight when most women didn't ride. She likely belonged to the Women's Motoring Club, which advocated for female independence on the road. A sideshow talker at the Klamath Falls, Oregon Circus, 1942, preferred the term talker over barker for their skilled, persuasive pitch. These performers were known for their sharp wit and charm, not mere shouting. Tower Bridge opened in London on June 30, 1894, after 8 years of construction and 11,000 tons of steel. A quiet moment between a milkmaid and a farmhand, captured by Frank Sutcliffe in late 1800s North Yorkshire. Dairy workers in Victorian England often started their day at 3 a.m. to milk cows by hand before dawn. A wooden quay overlooks a bustling trawl basin packed with sailing trawlers in the UK circa 1908. These vessels once dominated coastal fisheries before steam power replaced sail in the early 20th century. The Nashville Coal Building in 1900 stood as a commercial hub in downtown Nashville, featuring early 20th century architecture. It was one of the first buildings in the city to use steel frame construction. South Potomac Street, in Hagerstown, Maryland, circa 1910, bustled with horse-drawn carriages and early automobiles. The city was a key stop on the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad since 1834. Helen Keller and her teacher Anne Sullivan Macy received roses at the 1913 International Flower Show in New York City, where Keller, despite being deaf and blind, could identify flowers by touch and scent. A 1949 flood floods the corner of 7th Street and University, known as 6 Points, outside the 7th Street Theater in Fort Worth, Texas. Photo by Lee Angle. The 7th Street Theater originally opened in 1907 as a vaudeville house. The Cold brothers captured dramatic Grand Canyon views from precarious cliffs in 1908, pioneering adventure photography. They later lived in a canyon studio for over 50 years. British actress Hayley Mills, 1967. She was just 13 when she won a Special Juvenile Academy Award for her role in Pollyanna. The Davis Buick Company in Toledo, Ohio, 1939, showcased sleek cars during the Great Depression. a time when fewer than half of American families owned an automobile. Detroit's skyline rises in 1918 from the interurban station on Jefferson Avenue, featuring early skyscrapers like the Penobscot Building, which stood as one of the city's tallest at 33 stories. A cross-country motorcycle race takes place near Papamoa, New Zealand, on 9 August 1962. The event was part of a growing post-war motorsport culture in New Zealand that saw rural communities regularly hosting off-road races. Banker Harris Charles Fahnestock is seen in a carriage with a woman likely his wife, followed by another well-dressed couple, in a late 19th or early 20th century photograph. Fahnestock later helped finance the 1903 Louisiana Purchase Exposition. A construction worker rests on 41st Street in NYC during the sweltering August 1947 heat wave that shut down subways and melted asphalt. The heat wave contributed to a record 947 deaths in the city. In 1905, women's fashionable corsets could restrict breathing and damage internal organs over time. The Chesapeake and Potomac Telephone Company in Washington, D.C., circa 1925, featured operators using switchboards to connect calls manually. The company was established in 1883 and became part of Verizon in the 1990s. A Yemeni Jewish girl wears a gargush headdress and striped tiktani dress in 1947. Yemenite Jewish communities had lived in the region for over 2,000 years. Two women ride bicycles in 1890, a bold act of independence when most roads were unpaved and women's fashion favored long skirts. The bicycle craze of the 1890s helped popularize women's rights and rational dress reform. The fishing boat New England, encased in ice off British Columbia in 1911, survived a deadly 1913 storm that sank most of its fleet. Southern California women display handmade goods at a 1936 Pomona County Fair. The event helped launch the Los Angeles County Fair Association the following year. Gathering water lilies on the Norfolk Broads in 1886, this photo by Peter Henry Emerson captures a quiet rural moment just as Victorian conservation efforts began protecting such wetland habitats. A hired man operates a tractor engine for threshing on Alfred Schaffner's farm near Townsend, Connecticut in 1940. Sugar Hill was part of a federal program to relocate struggling farmers to more productive land. Chick's Candy Store on Pitt Street near the Williamsburg Bridge in 1938 served locals during the Great Depression, when a nickel could buy a week's worth of candy. The Ohio River in Cincinnati, along the levee circa 1904, when steamboats still dominated river trade, contributed to Cincinnati becoming a major port packing center. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy historical photos like this, consider subscribing for more.